Aubrey, take us away.
All right, happy Friday. It is June 18th. And before we go around to the groups, I had just two quick topics for us. So the first one is a gentle and encouraging reminder to just keep your Trello card up to date. I just had to update mine, which made me remember to encourage everyone to do it. Even if you kind of know, because we went through a lot of the first checklists together, um, it's helpful to the team to see where you are. Maybe your fellow student could reach out and be like, hey, you already did that step. Can you help me with mine? So just a reminder, if you need the links, let me know. And then I had a really great conversation with somebody this morning that prompted me to think that maybe we should just quickly talk about this project and who our audience is, because, we kind of um, we talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but it's been a while, and thought we'd maybe just take a moment to go a little bit more into detail. And so I'll give my spiel, and if anybody who's been in the project wants to kick in, please unmute and interrupt me. Um, so this project is really aimed at serving people who are having a really bad, like it's the worst day of their life. They're potentially encountering the court system for the first time ever, and they don't know what they're supposed to be doing, and they can't afford an attorney, or they don't have access to one because it's not provided for them for their case, for whatever reason. So that's our main audience. It's not, the tools may serve somebody who either is an advocate or is an attorney, but we think first about those who are like most marginalized, and then you kind of build in things that serve people furthest from and who are having the hardest time can also serve those in the community like advocates and attorneys. And an advocate or attorney doesn't want a form to be like super difficult to use either. You want it to be really easy to understand, kind of almost mindless for them at that point, and that makes it a great tool for everyone. So when you're thinking about building your interviews, when you're writing a question, you want to kind of pull out that legalese and pull it apart and guide the person through it. You don't want to make any assumptions that they understand. I think that we say that the target audience is to be able to use the forms as somebody with a sixth grade education, around there. So we're not writing these for ourselves as law school students or things like that. We're writing it for the people who would be potential clients someday coming to you not knowing what to do. And so that really can mean breaking what is one question into 5 questions in your interview. And it kind of shifts how you do your build and kind of thinks about the work you guys are doing. You're building legal tools, but you're not building them for legal people. And it's really like you're bringing access to the justice system to people who don't have it. So I just wanted to, if anybody has like questions about what that means, I would love to hear like how you're approaching it, et cetera. And if anybody else that wants to chime in, but uh, it's kind of shifts what we're doing for ourselves. It just, if we haven't really started to think about that in your interview, it is going to be something that we help you understand what that means for your build also. So I just wanted to bring that back up. Okay. All right. So with that, let's go to the teams, see what everyone's up to. We'll start with Shauna and Kajal.
Yeah, so we've just been going through and working on the issues that we spotted together and kind of just divided that up, and yeah, we're just going through that. So yeah.
We're gonna aim for a demo next Friday, we said?
Yeah.
Cool. Sarah.
I also
Oh,
met
sorry.
with Joelle about our DA office form, and we went through and got issues for that as well.
Awesome. Well, since we mentioned Joelle, let's go to Joelle.
So I have been working on the pre-trial memo, the housing memo, working on the signature. There was like the signature is like weirdly in the middle of the interview. So working on fixing that and like docket number questions. Also met with Shauna. We came up with a game plan and started working on some of our fixes. So hopefully we can get that out pretty soon, because I think we have like a good idea and like time marks. Yeah.
Great. And Regis and Catherine had a similar issue with the signature showing up in the middle of interview. So when we get to them, maybe they can give you a hint on that issue. Sarah, I know, so I'll go to Sarah since I called you and then took it back.
Perfect. I'm always ready. I'm really close. Michelle and I are hanging out tomorrow to make sure that I'm not totally messing up this swap the PDF link out. But I really hope that then we can close the book on my form that I have known and loved for quite some time. And then once we get that out the door, I can probably start moving some other forms along. But meeting with Michelle tomorrow, so hopefully we'll have some solid progress over this 3-day weekend.
Awesome. Yeah, working the weekends. That's dedicated. We'll go to Catherine and Regis.
So we are continuing the streak of Good News Fridays, which I'm super happy about. The primary issues that we are encountering this week have been resolved as of this morning. So special thanks to Aubrey, Quentin, and Michelle for all of their amazing help this week. We hopped on the update meeting with the appeals court on Wednesday, and we got to ask some questions and get some clarification on some things, which is super helpful. Like Aubrey said, Catherine worked on fixing the signature block because ours was also floating in the middle, and that ended up being a weirdly difficult problem to resolve. And then I was working on fixing our document upload, and it seems like everything is running smoothly.
Some more guidance on that weird signature thing? How could people who are facing the same issue get to a resolution, you think?
I will defer to Catherine because she was the MVP of that issue.
I mean, Aubrey helped me a lot, but she has a link to the proper code page. That's kind of where I was just trying to mimic it off of that. And then I know it was the computer one at the very end. And then, yeah, I don't know. We could sit down and talk about it. So I'm not gonna explain.
We worked through like 5 different issues together yesterday, and I've put you 2 on the spot. So
Catherine, maybe you could share some of your insights and links back out to the code help page.
Yeah.
And then people could access it there.
Yeah.
and Joelle, there's a variable in the order block that references the main order block, and if it's too early in your order block, it'll skip over anything after that and run the signature block. So look out for that. It's like set equal to true.
Got it. Thank you.
It might not be your issue, but that was ours, and we had to work through that one. Okay, and I think Eleni just had to step away. So Ryan, you're the solo rep for your team today.
I am, yeah. So we unfortunately lost Connor this week, but Donna and I are still working through our interview and making some good progress thanks to some much needed help from Michelle earlier in the week, getting over one of our bigger hurdles. That was honestly probably our biggest issue that we needed to get through. So knocking that out was a pretty big step. And then I didn't get a chance to take a look and work through the issue that you tried to provide some insight for this morning. I was working on some other stuff, but I'm going to take a look at that maybe after this meeting or sometime over the weekend. And then if we can't get it worked out, I'll maybe set up a meeting with you and Donna on Monday so that she can get some insight on that as well. But hopefully we'll be able to demo for Tuesday next week, because I know Donna can't come to the Friday stand up, so it would have to be some Tuesday, but barring any major setbacks, hopefully Tuesday next week.
Yeah, and the interview doesn't have to be perfect. You can encounter an error, 20 clicks in. But if you want to just get some eyes on it, it's a really good opportunity to keep building, and it's always helpful no matter what. I'm gonna Eleni let us know if you are back, but I'll go to Michelle.
All right. So I was gonna say something else. I don't remember the other thing. The testing framework, I've almost gotten rid of the checked column, which is a big step. but I have noticed something else that we do need to take care of before most of our advantages, before something that almost all of our interviews take advantage of, which is there is another loop that we need to make a provision for, either detecting it ourselves and dealing with it, or allowing the developer to give input that deals with it. I think I just managed to mess up one of my branches, but that's what happens sometimes. And yep, I mean, mostly, as I can get these approved, I can move it forward, and that's the main holdup. But I found some good stuff. Yeah. Is there anything else? Don't know.
Just to clarify, Michelle, you're having people on the Code for Boston team review the PRs that you have outstanding?
Yeah. I mean, I would love to have, the person that I have reviewing it doesn't have a lot of time to review. So, if there are other people available to review, would love those as well. But yeah. And it's good, they catch stuff. It's always good to have a second pair of eyes on something.
Yes, and I will be looking for somebody to review what I'm working on. So I don't think I can review yours, Michelle, but I might be coming to you for a review because you've just expressed the sentiment that I was looking for. So
sounds good.
Did you have anything else?
I cannot recall.
Okay. Let us know if you do. Bryce, did you have anything?
No, like blockers or questions or anything, just getting e-filing go through. I can hard code like the exact thing that we need to file and then send it to Jefferson Parish correctly. So making progress, that's good. And yeah, that's that. Yeah.
So for some context for folks to understand why that was worth a woohoo, that means that we're very close to being able to have these documents. So for the stuff that we e-file with the court right now, we just send them emails, and it's only a very limited number of form types because they don't want to get things clogged up. But what Bryce is working on is making it so that it actually will push the structured data to the court and its case management system. Now, it happens by accident of this and that we're working with Louisiana to do that. But that technology and the stuff that we're doing there, he's also going to work on stuff that will work with Tyler, which is a big vendor that works in a lot of states. And it's going to be something that hopefully will eventually come back to Massachusetts and in these forms.
Yeah.
But it's a big deal because it's that last mile problem of the delivery from you have this complete form, how do you then get it to the court and into the docket?
And it really relatively big deal because from what I understand, we only have been able to like send things through email to the court because it was an emergency. And we convinced the court to take things through email, but it's more work on their side if we're just sending them emails that they didn't have to download the PDF and then like read through it and manually type in all of this information directly from the PDF. And so it's easier for them, and they will let us continue like using these guided interviews a lot better with a lot less friction if we can not have to have this in the middle.
Part of the sustainability plan, it's making it so that it's easier and easier. So woohoo.
Super cool.
Is that a waiver or is that a question, Michelle?
Yeah, I raised my hand. Great.
Maeve.
Hi, Maeve. Hey.
Okay, we'll get to casual Friday soon.
We'll have a stand up from you too. Wanted to say someone brought up office hours. I've arranged things. I can do office hours every day between 2 and 4 to 5 kind of thing. So if you guys hit something during that time, I will try and reserve those as office hours. I don't know if that means I need to hang out on an open Zoom or like, I don't know how office hours work, but someone will tell me and those will be my approximate office hours.
Sounds good. Thanks,
If you're
Michelle.
looking for just an idea for how to do it, maybe just letting people call you up on Teams. I don't know if that.
Sure,
People might have other ideas about the most welcoming way to do it.
sure.
would
Last
be
time
simple.
my video didn't work on Teams and I can't annotate there, but
That's a very good point.
I suggest something. I'm back
Yeah.
in, guys.
good.
So what office hours in our company is that one person will just have a Zoom link open and they'll just sit on the Zoom link for the hour, and it allows everyone else to kind of also come in and listen as well if they want to learn from that thing. So it's not an individual call, and it works really well. I mean, it's something you could try out this coming week.
Yeah, we can try that. We'll need to figure out a professional account or something, but yeah.
I can make you a link, Michelle.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
All right. Perfect. Quentin, did you have any stand-up things?
Sure. So this week, I've been thinking about internationalization and localization because we sent off some files to get translated for the first time. So the 209A should be translated by the end of the month. Might take us some more time to, vet and integrate all of the translations, but we'll have some files back from the translator. So I'm trying to lay some groundwork for that. And the localization piece is relatively small. Our emergent need is making people in Louisiana and Illinois not have to change the state from Massachusetts to their home state. But I'm also looking at expanding that so that people can specify a country for all of their packages and have the address fields look right for their country, at least at a very macro level. We could layer in more customizations for different countries as we know what that country's address format is and want to explicitly support it. But it will do things like not ask for zip code if it's not the United States. That's an easy one. And it will also show the right sublocality level. So if the country uses provinces or regions, it will show that word instead of the word state, which is really specific to just, a smaller number of countries in the world. So that'll be really nice to get our work more flexible. The other piece I've been working on as a backend piece is kind of taking all the work that we did to let people upload attachments and evidence and create a record appendix for the appeals court and bundling it all up so that it's easier for us to use in all of our forms. And there's a lot of issues that happen when you let people upload content. You have to be able to resize it and convert it. The appeals court wanted it all to be searchable, so we have to potentially convert it to a searchable PDF image that someone took on their phone. But I'm going to try to wrap that all up so it's much easier for people to use and a lot more robust, so it really handles what everybody needs from that kind of functionality. So we'll see. The first draft of it for the appeals court, I learned a lot, but now it's time to make it more of an interface anyone can use easily, and I suspect we'll have to solve a lot of the same problems again in just a better way. So I anticipate that taking probably a couple of weeks to be really ready for people to start using. But that's mostly it for me. Yeah, the 209A milestone was a big one. I could add the housing conditions tool. So I dropped a link in that if anyone wants to check it out. It's kind of in a early preview now and getting some testing done with it. And I'll need to pivot very soon to trying to automate this form for Illinois, the fee waiver petition for Illinois. So that I think really is all my updates.
Awesome. It's really, this project has been international from the beginning because we had volunteers international, but that's really cool that we're moving into building international. I didn't know that, so hurrah. I'll go to Eleni, who's back. Sorry, I thought you had said you were back earlier, so I've called on you. My bad.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I don't really have too much. Maeve, hi Maeve. Sorry,
Hey,
I've been
Lenny.
taking so long. So I'm just moving along with testing. So I've been chipping away at the 209 a little bit, trying to figure it out. And with the consumer debt interview, I finished writing the matrices and the scenarios. I just need to run through all the test scenarios real quick and upload the videos and documents.
Great. Caroline, did you have some stand-up-y things?
The reason I'm late is because we had a misunderstanding with the translation company. I almost had a disaster. So, but we've averted it, and that's what I've been doing, is working, trying to get my end of this translation done. So I think we've still got some tweaks to do, don't we, after we get the translations back, but we had to get the files out to them as soon as possible. So that's been my work this week.
And actually, Caroline, that just reminded me, I don't know how we'll handle this, but we're going to be doing a round of translations with day translations for this tool I'm building. For
the housing one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And they're going to end up translating some of the same stuff, like all the basic questions.
Oh, I see.
We might want to think about how to strip those out of one of the files so they're not translated double.
Well,
but
you know
probably
what we
we'll translate
might
them
be
with your
able.
company.
Yeah. What we might be able to do is, if you want to use day as well, is get the translate. I don't know if we can, because they might not want to do this, because they're a competitor. But we might be able to get the translation memory from Hello Globo and then give that to day. I don't know if we can, but we're saying this is. We pay for it, right? We pay for them to translate this stuff. So either we create it or we get the file. It depends on what they're using for the translation memory. But that would be one way to address that, Quentin. It's just.
Well, something I could do is just remove the lines that I think are going to be duplicates from the translation file I send over for the KELP project. So that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, we shouldn't do it in the other way. If there were problems with timing, we could ask Dave to remove those. Whatever, I forget the name. Globo? Hello Globo?
Hello Globo, yeah. Hello Globo.
We could ask them to remove those lines if it would speed up the translation, since we know they're going to be translated by day, but the list of languages is not identical. So that's another issue.
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
translate Spanish. I don't think.
Yeah. Spanish, Portuguese. They're going to translate Portuguese, right?
I can't remember what other languages besides Spanish, but Spanish is definitely the first focus.
Yeah.
So if it helped, it probably isn't relevant, but I just thought I would throw that out there, and maybe we'll learn something from having a double translation, which is, maybe it won't be as big of a deal, but.
Okay.
Okay, great. David, did you have anything? You are muted.
Two things. One, just so it's not a surprise, because I realize not everyone either remembered or knew or probably came on after. We will likely be getting 2 new team members in the beginning of July, that first full week of July after the 4th, from Australia. So that'll be fun. Michelle made an interesting face, which I assume is because she wakes up early enough to talk to people in Australia. Given the time difference, most of their interaction will be sort of asynchronous. But I just wanted to give a heads up to that. And then also, I wanted to remind folks and let people know that I am still looking for Suffolk Law students to work on the Learned Hands project. That's the issue spotting for $15 an hour, a couple hours a day, maybe as a side gig for folks. So I still have spots for that. So tell your friends. $15 to play a game.
And it's super fun as well. It's super fun.
Yeah, it's super fun.
If you're a law student like I was, it's just like, oh, love this game.
This is like for Suffolk students?
Yeah, only for Suffolk students, I'm afraid. Suffolk Law students.
Enroll, or what's the cost then for your...
I don't know. I think the university would always take your money. You could do an LLM. But that's all for me.
I actually watched Jodie graduate from law school, and it was up on the TV with my parents watched as well. My dad was like, "You should go there." Yeah.
Well, Maeve, since you're talking about last summer, do you want to tell the new crew who you are, for those who don't know you?
Oh wait, are we still on stand up, or should I stop recording?
Well, I don't know if Maeve, you don't have an update for us. No stand up things. I think we're